Hi all, and welcome to episode 1 of Katawa Shoujo. Yippee! Wahoo! You guys got to miss all the fun troubleshooting I did to get this game to run, but we're cooking now. You guys have to cope with it being just like a square box though, because it only works like this. You can only see it like this. This is the way of it. Katawa Shoujo is like, God, it's a big deal. It's a cornerstone of Western visual novels. It tells the story of a young man and 5 young women living with varying disabilities. The game uses a traditional text and sprite-based visual novel model with an ADV-style text box running on the Ren'Py visual novel engine. Concept originated in a sketch created in the December 2000s by Japanese doujinshi artist Raita Honjo. From January 2007, the sketch was discussed extensively on the 4chan image board, and a development group was assembled from users of 4chan and other internet communities. The group took the name 4-Leaf Studios based on 4chan's 4-leaf clover logo. Most of the art, sound, and animation assets used in the game are original and were created for the game by a dedicated team of artists on the development forums. Background images used in the game were collected through an open call for background photos from public domain image collections and by a dedicated photographer on the development team. These images were later filtered to match the art style of the rest of the game's drawings. Because real photo pictures were used, many of the locations in the games are based on real places, with Yamaku High School being constructed from images of Brown University. That the city that the novel is set in, although unnamed, is based on Sendai, and the school was written to be where Alba Castle stands. I am excited about this. We will be playing all the routes, and thanks to our glorious editor at Yuki the Rat, we will be able to put this on YouTube, because our little man has promised to censor all the naughty stuff for us so we can see the full story. I know that there is like a version on Steam which doesn't have the naughty stuff, and there's like an option in the game which hides adult content. But what if we played around and just were a bit silly, you know? There's no harm in like enjoying games without adult content. I just want to play around and be a bit silly. I'm never expecting to be monetized on YouTube. I might as well see how far I can push it before they hate me. Teehee. But let's dive right into it. Oh my goodness. I am showing my cursor because I want to point at things. A light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle like wooden wind chimes. This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer. The deciduous trees provide a beautiful green canopy for out of sight of teachers and fellow students. But now in late winter it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. I breathe into my cupped hands and rub them together furiously to prevent them from numbing in this cold. Just how long am I expected to wait out anyway? I'm sure the note said 4 p.m. Ah yes, the note. Slipped between the pages of my math book while I wasn't looking. As far as cliches go, I'm more of a fan of the letter in the locker, but at least this way shows a bit of initiative. As I ponder the meaning of the note, the snowfall gradually thickens. Snowflakes silently falling from the white-painted sky, the only sign of time passing in this stagnant world. Their slow descent upon the frozen forest makes it seem like time has slowed to a crawl. The rustling of dry snow underfoot startles me, interrupting the quiet mood. Someone is approaching me from behind. Hisao? You came? A hesitating, barely audible question. However, I recognize the owner of that dainty voice instantly. I feel my heart skip a beat. It's a voice I've listened to hundreds of times, but never as more than an eavesdropper to a conversation. I turn to face this voice, the voice of my dreams, and my heart begins to race. Young love. Young lovers can be very, very cute. Oh, our first... Oh, look at this. A Wanacle? I got a note telling me to wait here. It was yours? Damn it. I spent all afternoon trying to come up with a good line and that was the result. Pathetic. Yes. I asked a friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it. A shy, joyous smile that makes me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle, even if I tried. Oh. Uh-oh. That doesn't sound like it's good. My heart is pounding now, as if it were trying to burst up from my chest and claim this girl for itself. So, here we are, out in the cold. Once again, the wind stirs up the branches. The cacophonous noise is music to my ears. Iwanako flinches ever so softly against the gust of wind. As it passes, she rights herself, as if supported by some new confidence. Her eyes lock with mine and she lazily twirls her long, dark hair around her finger. All the while, the anxious beating of my heart grows louder. My throat is tight. I doubt I could even force a word out if I tried. You see, I wanted to know if you'd go out with me. I stand there motionless, save for my pounding heart. I want to say something in reply, but my vocal cords feel like they've been stretched beyond the breaking point. Hisao? I reach up to try to massage my throat, but this only sends spikes of blinding pain along my arms. Hisao! My whole body freezes, save for my eyes, which shoot open in terror. Things aren't going well for our little lad. Things are going pretty badly, actually. Oh no! Oh god. Hisao! The beating in my heart suddenly stops, and I go weak at the knees. The world around me, the canopy of bare branches, the dull winter sky, Iwanako running towards me. All these fade to black. The last things I remember before slipping away are the sounds of Iwanako screaming for help and the incessant clatter of the branches above. Fuck. The worst she can say is no. Lies. Oh. Oh. Oh, what a good opening. I don't miss hospitals. They're like vital for health and healthcare, and I like that we have them, but I don't miss going to them at all. God damn, I do not miss going to them. Oh, it's been 4 months since my heart attack. In that whole time, I can probably count the times I've left this hospital room unsupervised on one hand. 4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone with your thoughts. So I have plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. Arrhythmia. A strange word, a foreign alien one. One that you don't want to be in the same room with. A rare condition. It causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. Apparently I've had it for a long time. They said it was a miracle that I was able to go on so long without anything happening. Man, I don't like being a miracle like that. That sounds like it fucking sucks. I don't want to be called a miracle and the doctors be like, yeah, it's a miracle you're not dead yet. That's not like a bonus, babes. That's still scary. Is that really a miracle? I guess it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up, right? It doesn't cheer you up when someone says that. When someone goes, wow, how are you still like living? It's not like a bountiful, joyful thing to hear. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages apiece. Combo deal. I had already had a full day by then to digest everything. To them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. Whoa. Good parents, though. That's really nice, actually. I'm glad you have good parents who are doing their best. Who are trying to be good to you. Of course, there isn't a cure. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. When I was first admitted, it felt as if I was missed. For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. But the visitors soon dwindled and all the get-well gifts began trickling down to nothing shortly after. I realized that the only reason I'd gotten so many cards and flowers was because sending me their sympathy had been turned into a class project. Maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came by on a regular basis. This is something I hear a lot about when, I never had people, like, visit me, like friends and stuff. I wasn't in the hospital for this long, were any of my situations. However, I've never had anyone, like, visit me when I've had issues. Like, at all. And it fucks you up. I can't imagine how badly it fucks you up to learn that the sympathy they have shown to you is so limited. Because people do that. After a while, they're like, oh, your disability isn't going away. Bye. It messes with you a lot. It fucks up your trust in people. Iwanako was the last to stop visiting. Oh. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had that much to talk about when she visited anyway. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on that snowy day ever again. Oh my god. I get that she's a teenager, but so's he. He's just a person, just a kid. The hospital? It's not really a place I'd like to live in. I don't think anyone wants to live in a hospital, truth to be told. The doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they're in a hurry and they have a million other patients waiting for them, but it makes me feel uncomfortable. Yeah. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate of when I'd be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries worked. Oh my god! So I idly observed the scar that these surgeries had left on my chest slowly change its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of omen. I still asked the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough now that I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answer shows that there is at least some hope. At some point I stopped watching TV. I don't know why, I just did. Maybe it was the wrong kind of escapism for my situation. A lot of TV shows are really bad for escapism when you're disabled. They just don't hit. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital, though it was more like a storeroom for books. I began working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. There's something about reading kind of hits better than TV shows. I don't know what it is. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands. But I loved the stories. This was what my life was like. The days became increasingly harder to distinguish from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. It felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mess I was trapped inside instead of moving within. A week could go by without me really noticing it. Yeah. This game is going to be very relatable for me, I think. Sometimes I'd pause in realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. But But other times, all the things that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of nonchalance I had set up for myself. The pages of my book would start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness in my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside and just lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. But that happened only really. Well, silver lining! And I couldn't even cry. Yeah, I'm not good at that either. It's okay, hun. Today the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He seems excited, but not very. It's like he's trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. I like that. Other doctors just don't try, you know? No bedside manners, you know? My parents are here. It's been a few days since I've last seen them. Both of them are even sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some sort of special occasion? It's not a party. There is this ritual the head cardiologist has. He takes his time sorting his papers, then setting them aside as if to make a point of the pointlessness of what he just did. Okay. Then he casually sits down on the edge of the bed next to mine. He looks me in the eyes for a moment. Hello, Hisao. How are you today? I don't answer him, but I smiled a little back at him. I believe that you can go home. Your heart is stronger now. With some precautions, you should be fine. We have all your medications sorted out. I'll give your father the prescription. The doctor hands a sheet of paper to my dad, whose expression turns wooden as he reads it quickly. So many. I take it from his hand and take a look myself, feeling numb. How am I supposed to react to this? The absurdly long list of medications staring back at me from the paper seems insurmountable. They all blend together in a sea of letters. This is insane. Side effects, adverse effects, contraindications, and dosages are listed line after line with cold precision. I tried to read them, but it's so futile. I can't understand any of it. Attempting to only makes me sicker. All this? For the rest of my life, every day? I'm afraid that is the best we can do at this point. However, new medications are always being developed, so I would be surprised to see that list fade over the years. Years. What kind of confidence booster is that? I'd have felt better if we hadn't said anything at all. Also, I've spoken with your parents and we believe that it would be best if you don't return to your old school. What? Please calm down, Hisao. Listen to what the doctor has to say. Calm down? The ways he says it tells me he knew full well that I wouldn't like it. Am I going to be homeschooled? Whatever of my concern shows it's ignored. Oh! Hug the kid or something, goddamn! We're gonna have anger moments a few times, I expect. We all understand that your education is paramount, however, I don't think that it's wise for you to be without supervision. Oh, I hate the way that's said. At least not until we're sure that your medication is suitable. I get what they're saying. Logically, I get it, but the way it sucks, okay? So I've spoken to your parents about a transfer. It's a school called Yamaku Academy that specializes in dealing with disabled students. Disabled? What? Am I? It has a 24-hour nursing staff and it's only a few minutes from a highly regarded general hospital. The majority of students live on the campus. Think of it as a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence while keeping help nearby. This sounds nice, actually. For one, I wish I knew that I was disabled earlier in life so that I didn't struggle trying to meet my peers at what they could do. And I wish that more schools like this were available. It would be nice. I know that abuse of power happens so frequently in environments like this. I still wish for this though. For these opportunities. I can be a bit of an idealist. It's an independence. It's a school for disabled kids. Don't try to disguise that fact. Hisao is going to be a bit ableist as well. He's only just discovered that he has a heart condition. He's going through a lot of shit. He's gonna suck for a bit, chat. Don't worry though. He's gonna figure himself out. Kind of. He's still a teenager. If it was really that free, there wouldn't be a 24-hour nursing staff and you wouldn't make a hospital being nearby a selling point. Of course, that's only if you want to go. But your mother and I aren't really able to homeschool you. We went out there and had a look a couple of weeks back. I think you'd like it. I hope his parents visit the school a lot to say hi to him. I really don't want him to feel like they've forgotten him. That would hurt. Looks like I really don't have a choice. Compared to other heart problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. You'll need a job one day and this is a good opportunity to continue your education. Ah, yes! The true purpose of schooling. Training you to enter the capitalist workforce so you can do your part for the big bosses of the world. This isn't an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a goddamned opportunity. Well, you should be excited at the chance to go back to school. I remember you wanted to return to school, and well, it's not the same one. A special school, that's an insult. That is what I want to say. It's a step down. It's not what you think. All the students there are pretty active in their own sort of way. It's geared towards students that can still get around and learn, but just need a little help in one way or another. It's funny to say it that way because a lot of students need help. People in general need help. No one's perfect at everything. It's a very funny way to say it. I'm just personally speaking. Your family's right. Your father's right. And many of the graduates have gone on to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. I don't like that phrase. Disability, changes how you can interact with the world. I don't like the implication that someone would be held back by it. I know they're trying to convince him that he isn't lesser, and they're trying to, come from where he is at, because they're definitely sensing that he's upset. But this was also the early 2000s, so we're just gonna have little discussions like this every now and then. Don't you mind me, chat. One of my colleagues in another hospital is a graduate. I don't care. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. That's what disability is. I really hate that something so important was decided for me. Yeah, that's actually fucked up of them. They should have had, even at least pretended to have a discussion with him about it. Just, telling him that this is what they're gonna do. This sucks. But what can I do about it? A normal life is out of the question now. It's funny. I'd always thought my life was actually kind of boring, but now I miss it. I want to protest. I want to blame this lack of reaction on shock or fatigue. I could easily yell out something now, something about how I can go back to school anyway. But no, I don't say anything. The fact is that I know now it's futile. I look around the room, feeling very tired of all this. The hospital, doctors, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice. I know this, but the thought of going to a disabled school, what are these even like? As much as I try to put a positive spin on this, it's very difficult. But let me try. A clean slate isn't a bad thing. That is all I can think of to get me through this. At least I still have something, even if it's a special school, it's something. It's a fresh start and my life isn't over. It would be a mistake to just resign myself to thinking that. At the very least, I'll try to see what my new life will look like. That's brave. He has a strong streak of depression in him. And we saw that in his... Oh, pretty art. We saw that before he was even in the hospital, when he was just waiting for her. He definitely talked with a tone of depression. So... I'm not surprised he's battling with it, you know. The gate looked far too pompous for what it was. In fact, gates in general seem to do that, but this one especially so. Red bricks, black wrought iron and grey plaster assembled into a hole that didn't feel welcoming at all. I wonder if it looked like what a gate for a skull should look like, but couldn't really decide. Probably no. Of course, I didn't want to get stuck on thinking about the gate for too long, so I entered through it with a brisk pace that felt surprisingly good. Moving forward feels good. So I walked towards the main building of Yamaku Academy with this brisk pace. I'm alone as my parents are taking my stuff to the dorms, and there's supposed to be someone waiting for me. The grounds are incredibly lush, filled with green. It doesn't feel like the kind of grounds a school would have, more like a park, with a clean walkway going past trees, and the smell of fresh cut grass and all other park-like things. Words like clean and hygienic pop into my mind. It makes me shudder. I shake them off. Stay open-minded now, it's your new life, you have to take it as it comes. That's what I tell myself. A few big buildings loom behind the leafy canopies, too big and too many for just a school. Everything seems off. It's different from what I thought I knew about schools. It's an uncanny valley. Even though I was told this is my new school in the back of my head, it doesn't feel like one. I wonder if the feeling is real or caused by my expectations of a school for the disabled. Speaking of that, I don't see anyone else here. It's kinda eerie. Makes me wish there was somebody here so I could anchor myself to something tangible instead of having the feeling that I stepped into another dimension. The trees hum with the wind, and the green hues flashing all around me catch my attention. Makes me think about hospitals again, how they say that the operating rooms are painted green because green is a calming colour. Is that why? That's so funny. They're right, but it's very funny. So why am I feeling so anxious despite all this greenery? Only, after I stand in front of the haughty main building, I surprise myself by realizing why the gate bothered me. It was the last chance I had to turn back, even if I had no life I could return to. Oh, a poor little lad. But still, after entering, there was absolutely no way I could go back anymore. Feeling nervous, and with this realization set in my head, I open the front door. A tall man with bad posture notices me as soon as I enter. A tall man with bad posture. Ah! You mean all of my friends. We're the only people in the lobby, so it's only logical. You must be... Nikki? Nakai. So you are. Excellent. I'm your homeroom and science teacher. My name is Mutao. Welcome. We exchange a handshake that is neither firm nor sloppy, and he looks at his watch. The head nurse asked you for a brief check-in visit, but there's no time for that now. Oh, should I go later? Yes, afternoon is probably fine. We should get going and introduce you to the rest of the class. They're waiting already. Waiting for me? I don't really like being the centre of attention, but I guess it's inevitable in a situation like this. Somehow, not knowing what is waiting for me makes me feel really nervous. Thinking this, I almost miss what the teacher is saying. Do you want to introduce yourself to the class? Oh, our first choice chat. Yeah, let's introduce ourselves. Yeah, sure, I mean, isn't that normal? Of course. But not everyone likes to be the centre of attention. I'm probably one of those people, but I guess I should be the one to give the first impression of myself. Right, but it's no problem. Let's go then. My heart is pounding in my chest and it keeps me thinking about my condition as I follow the teacher up the stairs. The third door down the third floor corridor is marked as the classroom for class 3-3. Mutao opens the door and enters. Good morning, everyone. Sorry, I'm late again. I hesitate for a split second at the door, freezing on the spot. Ah, get a grip. This is a big step, I know that. But there isn't any point in worrying so much about it, at least not this soon. It's our classmates! Woohoo! follow the teacher into the classroom and look around partially, so I won't have to meet the curious gazes of my new classmates. It's pretty spacious. The ceiling is unusually high and there's lots of space left over around and in between the desks. An entire wall taken up by blackboards and the high old-fashioned windows only make it seem larger. The student desks are just standard wooden desks with a shelf underneath for books and wooden chairs with metal frames. Simple and efficient. I stop walking in front of the classroom and face the other students. They all look normal, like students in any other schools. But then why would they be here? They're probably like me and have something wrong with them. Only, it's just not immediately obvious. Then I notice that one of the girls seems to be missing the thumb of her right hand. It's a little jarring. Despite the natural tendency to listen when someone's talking about you, I tune out the teacher's speech halfway through while he introduces me to the class. I notice a flash of dark hair and see that someone is looking at me. A girl with really long, straight hair that is pretty eye-catching. As she sees me looking back at her, she covers her face with her hands as if it will make her invisible. There is one boy with a cane leaning against the lockers at the rear of the class. It's weird seeing someone so young with a cane. Another girl seems to be making weird hand motions. Sign language? She peers at me over the rim of her glasses, then goes back to whatever she's doing. She's kinda cute. So is the cherry-looking girl with pink hair sitting next to her. She's really hard to miss. I don't know how I didn't notice her the moment I walked in. Please welcome our newest classmate. He claps his hands, and so does everyone else, except one girl in the first row who only has one hand. I cringe a little, but hide it by bowing, in thanks for the applause I did not deserve. A collective silence tells me that I should open my mouth now. So, I'm Hisao Nakai, and after that, my hobbies are reading and soccer. I hope to get along well with everyone, even though I'm a new student. And after that, I'm being so boring. This is exactly like every self-introduction ever. I should say something more. Something more exciting. I end up saying nothing, and the teacher picks up from there. Everyone seems to be satisfied, even with what little I said, though. A few girls are whispering to each other, throwing glances at me. Could have gone worse. I listen to the teacher as he drones about getting along while letting my gaze sweep across the classroom. Everyone seems to be listening to him intently, and when he's done, they clap their hands again, which feels like a weird thing to do. The first row girl claps on this round with one hand against her other wrist, that ends in a bandaged stump. Makes me feel a little bad. People love feeling sorry for disabled people. We're going to be doing some group work today, so that'll give you a chance to talk with everyone. Is that okay with you? Yeah, it's fine with me. That's good. You can work with Hakamichi. She is the class representative. She can explain anything you might want to know. And who else will be able to do that better, right? How could I know? The teacher passes out the day's assignments and announces that we were working in groups of 3. It hits me that I don't know who Hakamichi is. Slow. The teacher seems to catch my helpless expression. Oh right, Hakamichi is right there. Shizuno Hakamichi. Oh, she's adorable. Another drill hair haver. Let's go. My kindred soul. Same hair, same hair. As he calls out her name, the cute, bubbly-looking girl with bright pink hair and gold eyes waves her hand at me. I take a seat next to her by the window. Hey, I guess you're Hakamichi, right? It's nice to meet you. Ha 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 ha! What? I'm caught off guard by her laughter. It's nice to meet you too, but I'm not Hakamichi, I'm Misha. This is Hakamichi, Shi-chan! Giggling, Misha puts the next girl next to her, the one I saw using sign language before. It looks like she's been staring at me this whole time. She nods once nonchalantly to show that she acknowledges my presence. But only barely. She has short, yet carefully, neatly brushed hair, a pair of oval-shaped glasses balanced on the tip of a dainty nose, and dark blue eyes that seem to alternate every few seconds between analytical and slightly bored. It's nice to meet you. She immediately looks at Misha, who smiles and makes a few quick gestures with her hands. Hakamichi nods and makes a few gestures of her own. I start to wonder if the teacher was messing with me, saying things like, "You'll be able to talk to people," and "Who better to explain things to you?" I can see you're a little confused, right? Right. But I understand why you would think I was Shi-chan. Shi-chan is deaf, so I'm the person who translates things back and forth for her. I'm like an interpreter. She says it's nice to meet you too. You're the new student, aren't you? Well, Shi-chan, of course he is. If he wasn't, he would have been standing up. He would have been standing up there for no reason, right? Right? She's so cute. I love Misha. Such a fun girl. He seems like a very interesting person, doesn't he? We knew there was going to be a new student, but we didn't know you would be here today, so soon. He-chan, right? He-chan? Oh, she nicknames everyone. Oh, I love that. Yep, it fits, doesn't it? Did I say it out loud? It's just a surprise. I've never liked that nickname. Oh, come on. You love it. Shut up. I don't really see how. It fits. You look just like I imagined. Ha ha ha. Yeah, you look just like a He-chan. I wonder why everyone seems to think so. Hakamichi taps her fingers on the desk to get Misha's attention. They gesture back and forth to each other excitedly, their hands a blur. Misha seems a little overwhelmed. Sorry about that. Shi-chan wants you to know that she's the class rep, so if there's anything you need to know, you can feel free to ask her. Do you like the school so far? We can show you around a little if you haven't had the time to walk around and familiarize yourself with it. Misha stumbles with the hard word a bit, making it stick out in her otherwise fluid translation. That's nice though. That shows that she's like saying the exact words that Shizune is using. She's not just like shifting things to make it easier for herself. She's trying to say the exact words. That's nice. I know that some people I know that happens sometimes. People will like paraphrase things, you know? When they're translating for people in general with language stuff, it's a problem. It causes a lot of complications and confusion. Miscommunication happens easily. It's really nice. That's a nice little detail. Thanks, that would be pretty helpful. Yeah, I just kind of came straight to class today. That's no good. You should always try to learn as much as you can about where you're going before you go there. Not just with school either. Always. Even if it's a trip to the convenience store. Really, Shi-chan? Learn about where you're going? I guess I didn't bother to do that, or just didn't care enough to do so. I didn't look forward to this. Even if I committed myself to go along with it half-assedly, but anyway. I didn't say anything, and Misha signed something that ends in a shrug. What was that? Seems like it was about me. I feel like slumping over in my seat. Both of them are smiling, but that shrug hit me unexpectedly deeply. There's something about two cute girls gossiping in front of you and not telling you what they're gossiping about that can really do something to a boy's soul. You look down. Are you okay? Don't take it the wrong way, please. I hate it when people are afraid to ask questions. That's how people learn things, by asking. Yes, Misha, you're so right for that. God, you're so cool. Asking for help is perfectly normal, as much as needing help. Stop looking like you just failed a test. Alright. And another thing. You don't have to call Shi-chan something so formal like Hakamichi or class rep all the time. Just call her Shi-chan. Oh, blushy, blushy. She's not so sure about that. Getting so informal with the cute guy already, that might be a bit forward. Okay, maybe that's too casual. Maybe Shizune would be more appropriate. Yep. Shizune is fine. Yeah, I thought that was pushing it a bit. We've only just met. God. Okay, that would be a lot easier for me. I feel more at ease. Both of them are so friendly, so I feel like an idiot for being so apprehensive earlier. Especially about Shizune, who I assumed would be all business. Well, she still seems like that. Just less so, I guess. Huh? Oh right, we haven't even touched the assignment. We should start work now or Shi-chan will get mad. The assignment is also kind of long, so we should start now if we want to finish it before the end of class. That too. Shizune glares at the two of us impatiently. I don't need to know sign language to understand that. Okay, I get the message. After class, we can take a walk around the grounds together. It's a nice day today, okay? The assignment is actually very challenging to get through, combining aspects of being both difficult and unnecessarily long. Wow. I mean, oh, first day, that kind of sucks. Oh. Still, we finished it a few minutes earlier than anyone else in the class despite our late start. Shizune and Misha are really capable. Oh, Smarty Pants girls. Geniuses, let's go. They're quite different though. The class rep is as calm as professional as she looks, while Misha is a lot more playful and girlish, not to mention a little more easily distracted. To be honest, the two of them did most of the work. I feel guilty about that. The clock tower bells ring, signaling the end of the period. Time for lunch. Without knowing what else to do, I follow Misha, who is beckoning me into the hallway and down the stairs. We descend even below the lobby where I met Mutao, down to the bottom floor. Just like everything in this school, the cafeteria seems too spacious and oddly modern in contrast to the classic exterior. Its big windows open to the courtyard towards the main gate. It's the cafeteria! Her enthusiastic statement of the obvious makes people around us stare. But Misha doesn't seem to care, so we proceed to the line. Misha's so cool. There is a rather long list of menu options, which seem great, until I realised that many of them are to accommodate students who need special diets. I don't know! That's kind of cool too! Like, just because it's made to accommodate people who need diets doesn't mean that you're losing. You also get to have a variety of fun foods available to yourself, even if you don't have a funny diet. Like, it's a combo deal, you know? How nice. It almost feels like I'm back at the hospital, eating portions measured with scientific precision to meet the needs of the patients. Yeah, he's still processing the hospital, yeah. I pick something at random and follow Shizune to a table, sitting opposite of her. As I nibble indifferently at the food I'd rather not eat, Misha pokes me in the side to get my attention and points to Shizune. I don't understand signs, so the point escapes me. Maybe looking at a person who talks to you is proper and polite? It is! It kind of is, yeah. She's still talking. Do you want to know something? What? About anything. We're your guide, so you should ask if there is something. I wonder. Oh. If I was him... So we are going to do all the routes, guys, but for our first go through, we're going to just do how we feel. And then we'll, like, plan to try and get specific stuff, you know? I'm going to ask about the library, because he loves reading. Oh yeah, is there a library in the school? Lately I've got into reading a lot, so I'd like to check it out. Misha gives them a kind of frown that makes it clear she doesn't consider reading a healthy hobby. Okay. I feel attacked. Misha doesn't like that. Oh. But then picks up her smile again. There is! It's in the second floor, so we can show it to you sometime. Thanks. I return to my food while the girls talk between themselves. Misha and Shizune sign back and forth very animatedly, throwing sideward glances at me. But Misha refrains from translating. Maybe they are talking about secret girl stuff or something. I quickly notice a conversation in sign is not enough to fill a silence. We arrive in the classroom early, but we're not the first. The dark-haired girl I noticed before is slumped over her desk at the last row. She jumps a little when Misha crashes into the room with the elegance of a rhino. She shrinks deeper into her seat. I can feel her tension all the way from here, as if she was slowly turning into stone, just from our presence. Oh dear, poor girl. Misha and Shizune either don't notice it or don't mind it, as they walk directly past her to their seats and begin to converse. I'm left wondering about her, even when the classroom slowly fills with other students and finally, the teacher. Getting into the rhythm of school feels strange. It's as if my brain remembers how this is done, but my body doesn't. Towards the end of the class, I start yawning and counting the minutes left. I shouldn't be this tired on my first day of school. Maybe it's a long time spent in the hospital that made me feel like this. I'm even feeling physically weak and lifeless. Before long, the final bell rings. School is finally over for the day. Beside me, Misha and Shizune are having a short conversation. After a bit of deliberation, Misha turns to me. Unfortunately, we can't stay and show you around today, Hichan. We've got to hurry already since there is a lot of work for us to do. You'll find your way around here, I'm sure of it. Ah, wait! The teacher said I'd have to see the nurse. Where do I have to go? Is that so? We can at least show you that much. Come on, the nurses have their own building, so we have to go outside. We join the flow of students making their way down the stairwell and outside, with the girls pointing out the other senior classrooms in the same hallway as ours. When we get outside, the girls make their way to the smaller building right next to the school. It's built in the same style, so it looks like it's actually part of the main building. This is the auxiliary building here. There's a lot of official and important stuff inside, like the Yamaku Foundation office and all the nurses' offices. They even have a swimming pool. How is that official? Don't be silly, Hee-chan. It's for physical therapy, of course. Anyway, all the nursing staff facilities are in there too. The head nurse's office is on the first floor. You'll be fine from here, right? We'll be going then. See you tomorrow. Yeah, thanks. Bye. A whole building for stuff that has nothing to do with the actual education? I guess it's necessary for a place like this. I walk in, hoping that this will really only be a quick visit like the teacher said. On a white door on the left is a green cross with the text Head Nurse and a nameplate. A voice from the inside responds to my knock almost immediately, but I can't quite make it out. It sounded a bit like an invitation to open the door, so I invite myself further in. The room is not large and it smells strange. A friendly-looking man turns around on his office chair to face me as I enter. His desk is neat and tidy, but the bin under the table is overflowing with used medical utensils, and there are at least a dozen coffee cup rings lingering on the desk. Hello there. What can I do for you today? He is young-looking and sort of rugged, but the dimples in his cheeks wash that impression away when he smiles. Are you the nurse? He smiles, like a person who has heard this very same question hundreds of times. Why, yes I am. It says so on the door, no? You can call me by my name or just a nurse like everyone else. Of course. I shake off my confusion, realizing I probably should grab his extended hand. His handshake is rather firm and friendly. Right, I'm a new student, and my homeroom teacher told me to come and meet you. My name is Hisao Nakai. His eyes light up with revelation, and he snaps his fingers. Oh, you're that Nakai. I was just reading your file in the morning. Some kind of chronic arrhythmia and related congenital heart muscle deficiency, right? He gestures me to sit down in a vacant armchair in front of his desk. Yes. Good. Well, you've probably been briefed about the school enough, so I'll just go over this quickly. We have all kinds of facilities available, mostly physical therapy and such. There's always someone from my staff around, even at night, so never hesitate to call us if there is a problem. The famous 24-hour nursing staff. Wow, this is like a hospital. Well, not exactly. For instance, we don't do brain surgery here. His joke feels so out of place that I'm left thinking why I even said it. I don't know, I thought it was funny. Yeah, just that it's weird to have so many medical people at a school. You'll get used to it. I'm not so sure of that myself, but I don't let the nurse know it. Now let me just find your file again. While he searches for something from his computer and shuffles stacks of paper around, I let my gaze wander around the room. It's the epitome of generic, I'd like to say. Beige walls and ceiling, dark grey laminate flooring, and all the equipment you'd expect from a school nurse's office. Even the ridiculous educational posters are hanging on all 4 walls, reminding me to eat properly 3 times a day, and from all the food groups. Smiling, the nurse draws a thick file from a stack of similarly thick files and opens it. So, you already have medication for the arrhythmia. Just remember to take your pills every morning and evening, or it won't be much help. Apart from that, do you do any sports? Rash stuff, like, I don't know, boxing? He grins to his own joke, but I don't. Well, I played soccer occasionally with some classmates. Alright. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to recommend you refrain from doing that. At least for the time being. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, kiddo. I want to give him a pat on the head and a hug. And a blanket and hot cocoa. It hurts having these things taken away from you. Oh. My lack of reaction makes him raise an eyebrow, but really I'm not too bothered by him forbidding me to kick a ball around. That's because you've just given up. Oh, someone hug this kid. I guess I never did a burning passion for the sport. Just to have something to do. But it was your something to do. It was yours. Any kind of concussion might be very dangerous to your heart, and risking another attack is not a good idea. Was the previous one caused by a sudden concussion to the chest area? There is no mention of the cause in your papers. Not exactly. I sidestep the question acceptably, and he glances at me over his papers with a more serious expression on his face. Still, you need to keep your body healthy, so some exercise would do you good. We have physical therapy and such available, as I said, but I don't really think you need such heavy measures. Just get some light exercise regularly. Brisk walks or even light jogging, jumping rope, that sort of thing. Swimming maybe. There's a pool here. So I was told. You were? Very good. At any rate, and I'm sure you've been told this before, you just need to take care not to overexert yourself. That's the struggle. When you've never known that kind of limit before in your life, you have to learn where the limit is before you know whether you're overexerting yourself, you know? It's a bit of a dilemma. He wags his finger to emphasize the point. No need really, I've heard this 1,000 times already. Absolutely no unnecessary risks. Take care of yourself. Okay. He goes over my papers one more time and sets them on the desk, obviously content. Good, that's it then. Come meet me if you ever need anything. I'm ushered out before I even realise it. A quick visit indeed. These guys are efficient, but they're nice. I like them. I like that nurse, he's nice. I end up standing in front of the main building and the auxiliary building, although to my eyes they still look one and the same. It's the first real look I get at the other students, so I watch people coming out of the school, going towards the gate or the dorms. Everyone seems to know where they're going. And I still keep thinking that most of them don't look too special for being students at a special school. Then again, neither do I. does that make me one of them? One of us? I should go somewhere too, to prevent me from getting lost. It's around dinner time, but I feel tired instead of hungry. The weariness in me only grows as I trudge towards the dorms. I sit a little way apart from the main building complex. There is a garden of sorts between the school and the dorms. Shrubbery, flowers, and that overbearing smell of fresh-cut grass that fills the atmosphere. It dawns on my tired mind that the smell feels novel because I haven't been outside at all for so long. Oh God. Being around plant life and greenery is really important for personal health. Even if you're not exercising, it's good for the soul, and that has such an impact on personal health that you cannot discount at all. It's depressing that people are kept away from natural environments when they're trying to battle illnesses. I understand why. It hurts, you know? It hurts a person. The dorm building is big and made of red brick. Like the others, it feels way too pompous for what it is, so I push forward, going inside. It takes more time than necessary to fish out the key I was given from my pocket. Room 119. Despite the ornate exterior, the inside of the dorm is fairly new, functional, and boring. Just like in the main building, the halls and doors are wide to accommodate wheelchairs. The same goes for the elevators at the ends of the hallways. That's so true. So, here's the thing. A lot of elevators aren't big enough for wheelchairs. So even if people are like, oh, just take the elevator if you're in a wheelchair if you need to get somewhere. A lot of elevators aren't big enough. And you end up becoming like, everyone looks at you while you try and wrestle your way into this tiny little entranceway into the box, and it's like, man, this sucks. I poke my head around the corner of the common room door. Inside a few students are watching the television. One nods and gives a quick hello before turning back to the TV. Seems though only girls around here are sociable. I suppose that's perfectly fine with me. I climb the stairs to the upper floor. Here, small corridors branch off from the main hallway. Each of these minor halls seem to have a toilet and shower as well as 4 rooms. About halfway down the hall, I spy room 119. The nameplates on the rooms adjacent to mine are blank. I guess there are just 2 of us here. Light shines from below the door of room 117, so I knock lightly. Oh, he's going to try and meet his neighbours. That's nice. Hello? Is anyone home? From inside, I hear a few movements and the clicking of way more locks than I thought these doors had. After a moment, the door squeaks open. A bespectacled boy is standing in the doorway. He is looking at me very intently through his extremely thick eyeglasses. Who is it? Blind? No, at least not completely. Why would he have eyeglasses if he was? He leans closer to me until our noses are almost touching. His breath stinks of garlic. Hisan Nisaki, moving to the next room. I thought I should introduce my... His face suddenly brightens in realization. He stands upright, thrusting his hand out in a similar greeting almost straight to my diaphragm. Oh, sup dude? The name's Kenji. Ah, hi. I take Kenji's sweaty hand and shake it, still a little rattled by the sudden change of attitude and vehement welcome. There were some suspicious-looking people going in and out of your room earlier. It was probably my parents. Your parents? You sure? Because there could have been some other people too. You can't judge a book by its cover. His out-of-place proverb is left hanging between us awkwardly as I try to think of some way to respond. I'd say the chances are high enough. He shudders and makes some exaggerated hand gestures. You're a brave man, Hisao. Oh, he's hilarious. Hisao, you have to keep this man. He's hilarious. This is our end goal. This boy is our true goal. Me? I don't think I could trust the chances. The only one I trust is myself. Oh dear. Does that mean I shouldn't get to know you either? He thinks about this for a while. A wise decision. Damn, you are smarter than you look. Probably. What do you look like? I hope not smart. He squints his eyes and leans closer again, but I lean backwards to dodge it. Never mind, it doesn't matter. With that, he turns, fumbles around for a moment in search of the door handle, and shuts the door behind him. I slide the key into the lock of the door marked 119. Bleak beige walls, white linen, a desk made of some type of light wood, ugly curtains. Okay, first of all, we're gonna buy some sick-ass posters, right? And we're gonna slather them all over the walls and add some color to this shitty place. This'll kill you. This kind of room will kill a bitch. It's no one's room, impersonal like my hospital room was. My bags are sitting at the foot of my bed, looking a lot emptier than they did this morning. The closet is sitting open, stocked with my clothes. Oh, that's nice. That's really sweet, I like that. Also, it seems that there are a number of school uniforms hanging there as well. A note is pinned to the sleeve of one of the shirts. Hi, Hichan. We've unpacked your things and made your bed. They said if these don't fit, then you should go to the office tomorrow. If you have any problems, you can always call us. Love, Mum and Dad. Aww. I love his parents. They're so nice. Well, at least I don't have to worry about unpacking. Kinda hoped I would have. Then there would be something to do. It's still too early. I put the note down on the desktop and lie down on the bed feeling drained. Lying there makes me want to read something, but I have nothing with me. I wonder if the hospital conditioned me for wanting to read when I have nothing to do. The restless urge just keeps growing until I have to stand up. Maybe it's stress or something. I was pretty nervous about it before coming and for the entire day today too. I still am, I think. You probably are, hun. Damn, I have to distract myself somehow so I won't be this unnatural all the time. Tomorrow, I'll go borrow some books from the library. Yeah, I'll do that. But for now, the bottles of medications neatly arranged on my night table catch my eye. Pick up one and shake it just to hear the contents rattle inside, and then read the glued-on pharmacy label. Hisao Nakai, 2 tablets daily to stay alive. Oh my god! It doesn't really say that it could just as well. Oh, that's so fucking funny. Okay, that was funny. It's kind of twisted, having your life depend on chemicals like this. I resent it a little, but what choice do I have? I've been there, yeah. Oh. That was genuinely funny. This guy's hilarious, actually. With a sigh, I begin my new daily ritual of taking the right number of pills from each bottle, being careful to check the correct dosages. I lie down again, feeling hollow and uncertain. And after that, I keep staring at the blank, unfamiliar ceiling for a long time. Oh. It doesn't start looking any more familiar, not even after darkness falls and long shadows draw across my room like fingers. The sheets feel slightly more comfortable, warm, and nest-like against the chill that passes for room temperature here. Soon the lighter shade of darkness as the ceiling looks like every ceiling does at night, and it becomes the only thing I recognize anymore. The night beckons me to sleep, and I feel the coldness of unfamiliarity and fear creeping up my spine once again. I keep drifting further away from the world I know. Oh, poor kid. He needs a hug, bad. I wake up in a strange room. Solid morning light shimmers against the light grey ceiling. I had forgotten to draw the curtains closed last night. Eh? This is my room, isn't it? My room. This is the 3rd room this year that I'm supposed to call mine. Various things around here remind me that indeed it's me who is supposed to be the one living here. My bag's on the floor, my new school books on the desk, my numerous medications on the night table. I stare at the bottles for a moment, deliberating until I open a bottle, shake out a pill, and pop out a tablet from a foil sheet. I down them with a chaser of water without thinking about the chemistry. My uniforms are in the closet. I sink out from under the sheets and stretch my back before dressing up. And with that, I think we'll close out episode 1. Our little boy, Hee-chan, is having a bit of a rough time, and I wish him luck. I hope he finds love and happiness. And I'm excited to be on this journey with him. Thank you to everyone in Discord for voting that we would play this game. And thank you to everyone in Discord for okaying me to play the adult version and get an editor to censor it for me. Once again, thank you at Yuki the Rat for being willing to jump on board this project and help me out. I will be linking his VGen that him and his partners share, so that if you need any work, any editing work as well, I do recommend you reach out to him. I hope to see you guys again soon. Bye bye!